Hey, book club besties.
From scrubs to book clubs, we are two burnt-out healthcare workers who love to yap about books. I'm Katie.
I'm Star, and welcome to our first episode of Aimless Attention Podcast.
Woo! All right, so today we are going to be talking about shadow daddies. This is a common trope in romantasies or romantic fantasies. What would you describe? How would you describe a shadow daddy in your own words, Star?
That's funny, because when I think of a shadow daddy, I don't think about what the internet says a shadow daddy is. This is why I struggled so hard. I think of a shadow daddy as just a dark, brooding male. But that is not the correct term.
Well, okay, so here's the thing. I was able to find multiple definitions, and that's the problem. So Urban Dictionary has, like, they're tall, dark, and handsome.
100%.
They have
100%.
They have a tortured past.
100%. That is what a shadow daddy is. A very just dark and gruesome man. Just somebody that you want to take home and care for.
Yeah, exactly. And their tough guy exterior is there for everyone else except for the female main character. However, the caveat is most of them have some sort of dark power or shadow magic.
Which is weird because some of them are just, I don't know. There's a few books we've read where I'm like, he can be my shadow daddy.
So I guess when we decided to talk about shadow daddies, we narrowed it down because the definition can get pretty wide. And we decided to kind of just focus on specifically those dark brooding males who do wield some sort of dark power, much to Star's dismay.
It was sad. There was too many hot ones that really just should have been, book boyfriends.
But I think it'll be good because we can talk about some of those that maybe fell in the side that were maybe they could have been a shadow daddy, but we didn't know if we could classify them.
Yes.
And so, okay, let's talk about what we decided to name this podcast, our first shadow daddies. So who was your first shadow daddy, Star?
My first shadow daddy, who I got broken into, was, oh my gosh, I'm blanking his name.
Was it Xaden?
No, it was from the Throne of Glass.
Wait, Lorcan?
No.
Throne of Glass?
Oh, my sorry.
Is it from Akatar Resand?
No.
Oh.
It's just killing me.
Who's our shadow daddy in Throne of Glass that's not?
I think that, hold on. Isn't Rowan a shadow daddy?
I don't know. Rowan?
Okay, so see, this is where we get really dark because I thought that was the first one that I assumed was my first shadow daddy.
But is Rowan's power of like ice and wind like a really dark power?
I don't know. That's why I didn't understand. So I was like, Rowan would be my first shadow daddy that I was introduced to. It says, per the internet, because I had to Google this because I wasn't sure. It says, he starts off emotionally unavailable, possessive character who later becomes a shadow king.
Okay, well.
So see how the problem?
King?
He's a shadow king. He marries that woman, and then they become a king and a queen.
Is that just because she's just projecting
Aylin's
just blowing up so much fire that he's just
I don't know.
Like
I had to
shadows
Google it.
everywhere?
I was like, Rowan would be the first one I was ever introduced to in the realm of what I thought a shadow daddy was. Mm-hmm. And so I had to Google it because I was like, Katie and I have been arguing about this. And I was like, it says that he is a shadow king. So I was like, he's the biggest of all shadow daddies. He's a king.
Okay.
So I don't know.
I think we can allow it. Like there's anything
I don't know. Like I was like, how do you define he's the king of shadow daddies? Okay. It literally says on the internet.
See, I would not give him the title of king of shadow daddies.
It comes up on the internet.
Okay. So assuming that Rowan's a shadow daddy, what do you love most about Rowan?
I don't. See, here's where Katie and I differ.
Rowan
is fine. Very good looking man. But that's about as far as that goes for me. Like, he's a little too, like, white shadow daddy material for, like, the regular girl. Like,
see, that's why I don't consider him a shadow daddy, is because I think while Rowan is, like, he is the classic overbearing female.
Yes.
The buzzard to Aylin.
Yes.
Like, I fully get it. But I don't see him as like if I'm going to pick a shadow daddy, I'm picking Lorcan. Like, Lorcan is definitely like the one who's just like very broody.
Okay, so I didn't like Lorcan at first. I couldn't stand him. Even with the lead, I couldn't take him at all. I just thought he was just ugh. But the more Katie talks about him, the more I was like, I kind of get it. I kind of see where she's going with this. I didn't love him at first. He's probably would have become my type as time went on, but he doesn't have a very huge role either, though.
No.
So as he's like, when you're being introduced to him, you're kind of like, who the hell is this guy and where did he come from? Like, and then the book is over. Like,
Yeah.
so you were just like,
why do we not get to know what Lorcan did?
yeah.
I'm so mad about that.
We're hoping that she comes out with more of the description on this.
Yeah, or at least more Dorian and Manon. Either way,
She likes that Dorian.
I love Dorian. I also would not classify him as a shadow daddy either. I think he's too pure, like in a lot of ways.
But he shadows magic.
Well,
again, I had to
he's
Google
raw
these
magic.
because I wasn't sure.
He
Because
okay,
this is
he
the
does
problem
use-
with Google.
He does use phantom hands with
Okay,
Manon.
see,
So
I didn't read very many
maybe
books.
Maybe we could. I don't know. My first shadow daddy, I think, is a lot of, especially people my age, when they get into romantasy, they typically read ACOTAR first, and that's what happened with me. So my first shadow daddy was 500-year-old High Lord of the Night Court, Rhysand, and I still, to this day, he is my favorite shadow daddy. Absolute favorite.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm struggling because this Kingfisher is shadow daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Because that was my shadow daddy. That boy could bend me over a table and I wouldn't cry about it. I don't know. That's a hard one because I didn't really. Every time I read about these men, even though they're grown, they still children in my brain. I still picture these like 20-year-old looking boys that I'm like, how are you going to take care of this old lady? So, it just doesn't work for me. Like, I'm just like, this old lady wants to be like taken care of, and these are like little boys, even though they're like 500 years old. I'm like, it's still a little boy.
Oh my gosh. I love Rhysand so much. I go back and I read so many portions of Akamath over and over again. Same with Akawar. Like, I just want more of him. Also, listening to the graphic audio, and I think this is true for me for Kingfisher. So when I read Quicksilver, I enjoyed the book. I read it on KU, thought it was a fun read. I'm excited for Brimstone to come out in November.
Yes, super excited.
However, Kingfisher was not really my cup of tea. I was like, he's fine. He's hot. I get it. Like, he's not my kind. Like,
I like brooding men that want to just take advantage of a soft-hearted female.
I will. Well, when we get into our Quicksilver episode, I have some things to say about Kingfisher. One specific line that like gave me the ick so bad about Kingfisher.
And it probably made me.
Yeah. However, if Anthony Palmini, I'm realizing he's probably one of my favorite voice actors of all time. If Anthony Palmini voices a character, I'm going to fall in love with that character. And I love Kingfisher in the Quicksilver audiobook. And I love Rhysand so much in the graphic audio of ACOTAR.
I didn't do the graphic audio.
Yeah, and Anthony Palmini is Rhysand in that too. And I'm like, whew, listening to chapter 55 in that, like, yes, Rhysand. But I think the thing I love about him most is that he's just, I think he's great with Feyre. And I don't want to talk about Silver Flames, Rhysand at all. But I love that he always gives Feyre a choice. Like, he is this dark, crazy, powerful guy. But he always includes Feyre in everything they do.
Yes.
And other than we don't talk about Silver Flames, that stupid pregnancy where they can't do C-sections. I should say we should probably warn that there are spoilers in this podcast.
Spoiler alert. Little behind on the times on that one.
We'll record at the end and just throw it in at the beginning. Just be like, if we mention a character or a book, we're going to say spoilers because we can't control ourselves.
No, we cannot control ourselves.
So yeah, Rhysand was my first one, and he's still at the top for me. Let's see, who else okay. Number 2 for me, and you're gonna not agree with me on this one either.
Katie and I do not agree on men.
No, we have very different tastes. Number 2 for me, and he's definitely problematic and like probably the true definition of a shadow daddy, like a morally gray shadow daddy.
These are my kind of men.
Xaden Ryerson.
Okay, here's the problem I have with Xaden. He's 12, okay? I don't give a shit what the book says. This 40-year-old woman does not want to be thinking about the child she could have raised if she would have gotten pregnant at 20,
Fair.
okay? So my brain is just like, oh, this poor little boy. Plus, here's my other problem with this story. As she likes to put it, spoiler alert, they're both way too young to be doing the amount of crazy shit that they do, especially like in the throne room. Like, I don't know. My brain is just like, you're not old enough to know what sex is.
I think they're plenty old to know what sex is. But I love Xaden. I love everything he says to Violet. I am so excited for Xaden and his villain era for the 4th book. Like, I'm so down. And when I read Onyx Storm, he almost overcame Rhysand for me. Almost. I don't know why. Xaden is so much more problematic than Rhysand, and I think that might be part of it.
Katie's been reading way too many like those like lovey-dovey ones. She needed a little roughness in her heart.
I only read romance or romantasy.
We're going to break that up.
I read a little bit of dark romance too, but not like crazy. Like the most like dark romance I've read is Haunting and Hunting Adeline.
I really want to read that. I have to get on top of this.
I think you'll love that. I think you'll love that.
I've heard that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't read dark enough for me. We'll get there. We'll break this soul. So, yeah, no, I can't do him. Every time I think of him, the whole time I read the story, all I kept thinking of was my 20-year-old nephew that I raised. And all I kept thinking was they were the same age and was like, the whole time. All I kept thinking, and I was literally at work screaming, they don't know what they're talking about. They're 12. And one of our coworkers looked at me and goes, you don't have a 20-year-old? And I go, I raised one. So it really bothered me. Katie was on vacation. So another one of our coworkers had to listen to me screaming about a book while we were at work. Some of it is just wrong. Okay. Like, especially in 4th Wing, some of this stuff was just crazy. Like, I just couldn't. I mean, I don't know. He's 20. Just
I
wanted to be attracted. That was the problem. But my brain was like, he's 20.
I think I loved, for Xaden, I loved the evolution of watching his shadow magic because of him turning. Because, like, with Rhysand, he's just the most powerful High Lord that's ever existed,
so
right?
one of the things your mom made a comment about that I fucking loved was that whole, like, keeping secrets thing. That was a big problem for me. Like, their whole, like, and then, I don't know, because they were children and they needed to grow up and become mature. It bothered me. It was one of those things that you think that it's not going to bother you, but then it really fucking irritates you in a way that you're just like, I don't understand, like, why...
Xaden keeping secrets from her.
Yes,
yeah.
like he just like, and they were dumb.
But
I think,
yeah, okay. So some of the stuff he did keep from her was like, okay, really, just like tell her. But like other stuff, I understand. Like you are the leader of a rebellion. Like,
no, I guess I get that, but it was just frustrating.
Yeah, but I have loved like watching him evolve because like when we first meet him, like, yeah, he's super powerful and like he's a badass and does all this stuff. And like when he walks into Violet's room when she's getting attacked and he's like, you're all fucking dead. Like, okay, I want to shout out again to the graphic audio because Gabriel Michael does an amazing job as Xaden. Like, I have never been more attracted to a voice than Gabriel Michael. My husband's gonna love hearing that.
But you have to listen to it in the audio, I think, sometimes because it changes the tone of how you hear it.
Yes.
Especially when they say certain things like, I don't know. My brain keeps going to Kingfisher, but especially I can't think of the scene in the throne room. But doesn't he say like to like grab the chair or something? He says something very like demeaning in a sense that was just enough.
I don't remember what he says to Saris.
Yeah, I don't know. So it just has a way of like.
There's something when. Oh God, I'll have to say this for the Quicksilver episode because there's one thing that Kingfisher says that really threw me. But I think it was their like first encounter.
Oh, I know exactly what she's talking about.
You know the exact line
I do.
Actually,
I was gonna save that for the Kingfisher one, so we will do that.
We'll wait on that one. But yeah, no, I love that Xaden. So by the time we're in the 3rd book, like not only so when he like throws Halden against the room because his shadows are like hearing everything that's going on, or like he didn't use. I don't think he pinned Violet at all with his shadows until the 3rd book, until that like weird chair scene that I could the choreography was hard to follow.
Yeah, but I don't think he actually like pins her. I think he uses it to kind of like...
He like binds her hands above her head, I think.
Yeah, but I think he uses it in that sexy way that like every girl
obviously
wants to be like
But I don't think he used it before then like that.
No, I don't think that they actually did. Mm-mm. No. I was thinking he did. I was like, wait, yeah, he does, but no, he doesn't. No.
I want to give, let's see, going back to Akatar, I want to give honorable mention, Shadow Daddy, to Azriel. I think he has potential to be a favorite. I'm not an Azriel girly as much as I am a Cassian girly. And I feel like we haven't gotten to see much of Azriel because he's just so quiet and he kind of like hangs out in the back. There are bonus chapters The SJM, like, this is so annoying. SJM, when she's released new editions of books and stuff, has added bonus chapters in, but they're like not available everywhere else. So like when Rebecca Yarros does bonus chapters, she'll always include them on her website. So even if you didn't go out and spend the money on the extra book, you can still get the extra content, which I appreciate because Rebecca Yarros writes the extra chapters, but she doesn't have them affect the plot. SJM has them affect the plot. Like I was listening to, I think Fantasy Fangirls was talking about there was like an ACOTAR bonus chapter or like a Throne of Glass bonus chapter or something that influences something that happens in the storyline. And it kind of comes out of nowhere. I think it was something, or it might have been something that happens in Silver Flames. I don't even remember what it was. But I was just like, that's so frustrating that you included something that's not available to every reader.
Yeah, I don't remember because I thought I got all the bonus chapters because I read it so late.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think, like, did I already read it? And then I don't know if you didn't read it. So then I'm like, I don't know. So my brain was like, wait, hold on. Because I just finished ACOTAR not that long ago. So I want to say, like, I think I did get all the bonus chapters. Because I think I was yelling about it. Yeah. And then one of our other coworkers was like, I haven't gotten to that part yet. Don't tell me. So I don't know. Like,
I know I haven't read the Crescent City bonus chapters other than the one with Rune and Lydia with the surprise wedding. Rune surprises her with a wedding. Or Lydia surprises him with a wedding. And I literally
feel like she's telling me something I don't know.
Okay, well, I think I was on TikTok and I saw someone talking about that they had gotten married. And I'm like, when did that happen? Because Rune and Lydia are like my favorite characters in Crescent City.
Because at the end, don't they just like, isn't he looking for an apartment, but she doesn't live with him? So how are they married? Yeah. So I do remember something in the story about them being married. And I was confused.
Yeah, so it's a bonus chapter where like Lydia surprises him with a wedding.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which Rune Dannon is probably number 3 on my list of Shadow Daddies.
He's fine.
Crown Prince of the Valbaran Fae.
He would be fine for me. I could handle him, but I don't love him as much either. He's kind of a little bit of a like needs to grow. See, all of her characters always need to grow up, and I feel like I'm old, and I'm like I want a grown ass man.
But
like,
that's why I didn't like him.
In the beginning.
I liked him. He was fine, but he was like the party boy and he needed to grow up and he just kind of like had the ox that he was running or whatever. But it was just like he was kind of a peripheral character and all he did was like do drugs and party.
I mean, but that's
like have sex all the time.
You got nothing else to do and you've got all the money in the world. Like who cares, right? Like that's your life. Is like I've got everything I need. Why should I try harder to be anything else?
Yeah, I mean I understand
and
it.
His dad was, oh my god, like his father alone makes him, I would want to be I'm surprised he wasn't stoned his whole freaking life.
I just love that. Okay, so Rune is not my type in real life, like at all.
He's totally my type. I love a drug addict. Find me if you want it. Oh my god, broken oh Lord. Yeah, I thought about this when I was reading it. Maybe that's why, trying to break old trends. You try to avoid those.
I guess I'm not into. I don't like dudes with long hair. That's one thing I don't like. Lucian.
Brings up, okay?
I don't like Rowan before he cuts his hair.
Rowan was fine before he cut his hair. But this brings up: does Hunt become an actual shadow daddy? Because if you think about it, okay, everybody, I want questions for this. I want the audience to participate. Does Hunt win the award of Shadow Daddy, being that he yields, what is it, lightning
from hell?
I think, like, depending on your Shadow Daddy, like, what you describe, but I can't fucking stand Hunt. We could cut his wings off. He could still be dead to me. I'm okay. Hunt, I'm letting you know you're dead to me. I hated you in the end. Rune won over. The whole series pissed me off. I was very done with it. I'm just letting you know, if we had to do it again, Hunt, I fell in love with you in the beginning. I was all for it. How you gonna marry a girl after 3 freaking weeks of knowing her? Really pissed me off. I don't know. Hunt, oh my god. Okay, back to Rowan.
No, I think it's a valid question though, because I was thinking about that too. It's like, yeah, Hunt wields lightning. It's a very dangerous lightning. And at first glance, no, it's probably he's not a Shadow Daddy. But his lightning does come from hell, so it is inherently a dark power.
Right?
But also, I also hate Hunt. I don't hate him. He's just so boring.
He does. He gets, at first you're excited. You're like, this like hot angel walked into the room. But, then you're like, what the hell happened to you? I don't know.
I think part of it, I think he kind of reminds me of Rowan in Kingdom of Ash. Like, I feel like after Rowan got Aelin back, he was just
they get all like girl weepy, like they don't know how to be a man because the girl's like stronger than them. I don't know. I feel like her women overpower the men in some weird screwed up way, and she doesn't always
But I think that's why part of why Rhysand and Feyre are probably my favorite SJM couple is because they complement each other so well.
He gets all whipped too. When she gets pregnant, he gets super whipped.
Yes.
He gets that. I have to be honest with you. Crescent City had a great the alpha hole. Okay, I fucking love that.
Amazing.
That's like I want that on a fucking shirt. Alpha hole, because I'm telling you, my God. And I totally get it because I love me an alpha man, but they can be assholes. I love it. I love the alpha hole, but. It bothered me.
Yeah, so Rune for me was like I said, it was not until House of Sky and Breath that I started liking him, and it was because he started taking on more of a role. He started being more serious, and also because, and this happens multiple times in SJM books, they meet their love interest, and I'm like, oh, I like you now. So this happens. It happens with Rune when he meets Lydia.
Okay.
It happens with Lorcan when he meets Elide.
Okay.
And it happens with Chaol when he meets Irene. I did not like Chaol. I was in the Chaol hating group until Irene put him in his place. Like, look at the scene.
No, she's right. But Chaol was kind of a decent, like, he was always like the kind of guy that, like, I don't know. He's like the dream guy everybody wants, though. Like, if you were to pick, like,
100%.
100% a man, like, he was, in real life, he was the good guy. Like, he was the guy, like, but yes, you are correct. She did put him in his place, which did make him grow up.
Yeah. So that's my issue with SGM characters, and that's why, like, Rune is probably my third favorite Shadow Daddy because I love him in book 2 and 3 of Crescent City. Although some of his treatment of Lydia, not my favorite. However, I can kind of understand because she was
did
behind
a bunch of like lying bullshit that he didn't like.
Yeah, I mean, she was behind.
Plus, she gave him a fake name in the beginning. Like, they were introduced to each other, and he was falling in love with another person.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
So that would be hard to, like, if you're falling in love with somebody, and then you found out that they were completely who they said they weren't, like, even though they were the same person, it would be hard. I don't know.
Yeah.
I understood his, like, resentment in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%.
But then he, like, I don't know, he grew out of it.
Yeah, he did. I like him with Lydia because I feel like Lydia, like, kind of partially made him grow up, but also made him, like, realize that it was okay to, like, let her in and stuff. And I don't know. I love Lydia. I love the Akatar tie-in with Lydia. This is not a part of the Shadow Daddies. I just like, actually, it's just the part that makes me love him so much. So I guess that's part of it. But yeah. Do you want to talk about Kingfisher some more?
No, I like Cormac. He was
Cormac.
He was like, you give me a redhead any time of the day. I don't care what he does. And I don't know if he was considered a shadow daddy though, because I tried to like Google if like his telepathic thing, like where he could like teleport, was considered a shadow daddy. But I was like, he
winnows and he wields fire, right? Those are his
but
two.
He like didn't really like. The only
thing
thing that he did that was cool was he like transported people. Like there was nothing really other than the fact that he died for the woman he loved, and I was like, yes, die for me, like 100%. I'm totally down for that. I don't know what it was about that one that was like.
Cormac grew on me too. He was not in my category of favorites for Crescent City, but I can definitely.
I don't know. He came out winning for me. He was the description of him was exactly my type, and I was like, I'm already won over. The accent alone was like, I was in. I was all in.
I was all in.
I had already fallen in love, and then he died, and I was like, God damn it. And then his father, his dad was a dick though, okay?
So all of the fake dads are
but
horrible.
Like this was bad. Like this, he was like, you're a woman. Stop speaking.
Yeah.
Be quiet now. You must be seen and not heard.
You can't come in our library unless you have an escort.
Right?
Like, what the fuck?
But he kind of started off the same way, but in some weird, screwed up way. Like, part of me was like, I kind of like that. Like, take charge, Daddy.
Listen, that's why, like, okay, if and this is tying into Daddy Dacker from the Veiled Kingdom series, which you have not read. It's by Holly Renee. It's a fantastic trilogy. It's available in KU everywhere. She's an indie author, so support her. I absolutely love Dacker, but in one of the scenes, and it's pretty early on in the book, he's like, get on your knees and crawl to me.
I'm 100%.
If my husband said that to me, absolutely not.
100%. say that to me.
In
Are
a
you
book,
kidding?
I'm like, hell yeah.
Oh my
I will
God.
crawl to you, but not in real life.
Yeah, I kind of get that. I don't know. I'm 100%. Look, and I'm all turning red over here. I'm like, yes.
But yeah,
crawl
so
to me.
Dacker does that. I'm not going to talk on him too much, but he's an honorable mention daddy for me. I love the Veiled Kingdom.
I think that's all my shadow daddies I've got. I don't think
All
I have
yours?
any. I didn't really get too many stories in before we
That's true.
started this fun.
Okay, so another honorable mention for me, and I have him up here, is Mr. Slade Ravenger.
I was just looking at that book. Was like, that looks really good.
Yeah, so this is it's called, the first book is called Guild. It's in the Plated Prisoner series. It is a take on King Midas.
It literally says a gilded cage is still a prison.
Yeah.
Everything in me is like, yes.
So
100%.
this is a series where it's just like ACOTAR. You have to get through the first book. 'Cause the first book you're just like, ugh.
just so boring.
Yeah, and it's
actually
not
didn't hate
necessarily-
ACOTAR, but this goes back to the whole Moss thing. Woman, please stop building up your whole world in a book because it's boring as shit and nobody wants to get through it. Okay, I had to put it onto like speed read to get through it. I loved it, but I am walking. I'm walking. Gets so old. Okay.
I knew Crescent City 3 you were going to be like, I literally
I actually
in my
liked
head-
Crescent City 3. I didn't like
You liked the
ACOTAR.
cave?
Yeah. No, I did not mind the cave.
Really?
I thought it was pretty interesting, but I also put it on like speed read. Okay.
Yeah,
so it's
that's
going
true.
fast, and I don't know. Her stories you can put on like 2.5, and it's still slow enough that you're like, holy crap, I can keep up.
Crescent
with everything
City's
that's
also
going
read by
on.
Elizabeth Evans, right?
Yeah, which
Okay.
is why you're like, "Arr."
Well, I like her.
No,
the
but you
problem is-
said that you reminded you of something of
oh, I can only hear Aelin when she
Yes.
talks. That's the problem.
After she brought it up, I heard it. Then I had to like erase it from my little poor mind because she does fine. She's a great reader. I actually have no problems reading. Just put that out there. It's just Katie had so many books for me. I had to put them on Audible to get through them so we could start our podcast.
Also, audiobooks are reading. Like,
Yes,
I am
100%
not
agree.
going. I will die on that hill. I personally love reading on Kindle or a physical copy, but I always will reread with an audiobook. I'm all constantly listening to audiobooks.
There's some audiobooks though that are just better, like Kingfisher.
Oh,
My god,
Quicksilver's way better as
when
an
he-
audiobook.
Yeah, it was like when he starts talking, everything in you was like, please, Daddy, talk to me some more.
Please keep talking.
Yes,
Quicksilver.
you're just like, please. So sometimes it was worth it if you like that sexy voiced actor telling you.
I have to look up who voiced. I think it's Teddy Hamilton for Plated Prisoner series, but I can't remember. But basically, it's a King Midas telling, and the first book you have Orin, she's a gilded woman, so she's completely gold. Everything about her is gold, and she's in love with Midas, and he keeps her in a cage and all this kind of stuff. And you spend the entire first book being like, Midas is a piece of shit. Stop loving him. And that's like the entire first book. And,
You sure it wasn't like this? I feel like she's telling my history of my life. He's a piece of shit. Stop loving him.
I think you would actually really enjoy it. So there's two versions of it. There's one that has Anthony Palmini in it.
Oh, I love when they have
Audiobooks.
multiple readers. That's always my favorite because
Yeah.
then you get multiple different voices, and then it feels like you're watching a movie in your head without actually watching a movie.
Mm-hmm. And I prefer reading it. I prefer duet style because like when they have two narrators, it's fine. Like I think the Powerless trilogy is a great example when you have two really solid narrators. Like I know you haven't listened to that, but like for the female chapters, only the female reads for all of it, even for the male voices. But if the actors are good enough, like Elizabeth Evans is with like the male voices, where you can actually tell them apart, and she does a fantastic job,
that helps.
then like totally fine. But like duet style, like with Quicksilver, and I don't know about Guild is probably a similar way, but oh my god, this is. So when you meet Slade Ravenger, he also goes by King Rot, and his power is literally rot. Like he
nice.
will, and I have never read a character, an MMC, who was more willing to burn the world down than him. Like in all reality, like Rhysand's pretty overbearing. Rowan would kill anybody that came in Aelin's way, but oh my god, Slade Ravenger would literally like blow up the entire world.
That's
for Orin.
crazy. Yeah. No, I'm interested in reading that. Don't worry. I will read that. We will be doing
I think there's
a podcast on it.
I think there's 6 books, and one of them One of them was really hard to get through towards the end, but you might
This
actually
is
really
why
enjoy
Audible is great, because you can just speed read it.
it. Yeah.
And then you can do whatever you normally do. See, my problem is that I can't sit still long enough to do anything. When I'm in my car, I'm fully like, yes, yes, yes. And I'm sure the drivers next to me are like, what is this broad doing right now? But there's sometimes in a book where you're just like, holy shit. Even when I'm physically reading a book, sometimes I'm like, oh my God, did that just happen? Oh my God, girl, get it, get it, get it. Like in a way that like, yeah, no matter like, especially when some of those guys are like, get away from my woman. And I'm just like, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
get away from her. I'm like, yes, take me.
I'm like, please, Shadow Daddy.
It's like I was listening to Kingdom of Ash, and I only listen to audiobooks on reread. So I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware that a lead is racing out to go save Lorcan off the battlefield, but I'm still like, come on, lead.
So 100%.
And Lorcan's
You're fully like screaming at it like it's going to make it go any different.
It's like I love Lorcan so much, and it's so stupid. Like I hated Lorcan at the beginning.
She hated him.
I was like,
okay, I hadn't even finished the book yet, and she would just give me looks.
I was like, you like Lorcan? What are you talking about?
I did like Lorcan even before he met Alid, though. Like I kind of like, there's something about him that was just like dark and brooding. I don't know.
Yeah.
I could save you, honey, was my thought.
Yeah, I think while Lorcan doesn't wield shadows, his literal power is death. Like he's a half fae that like has lived for so long, and he's 7 feet tall and has long black hair.
Yes.
And he wields death. Like that's all it's ever described as. And it's not even like Nesta's like Lady Death persona where she has like silver flames. It's just like literally it's like he just let out his power and everyone died around him.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
But Lorcan in the Circus of the Lead is like my favorite thing ever. He's just like, I guess I'll just stabilize this tiny human's ankle while we have to pretend we're a couple on the circus. Like,
they did not do a very good job either, though, because people were like, "What the hell?" Like,
everyone's looking at him like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, like
here?
you're not together. Stop lying. He just has a very like Scorpio energy. The 100%. He was just very like brooding. I don't know. Very just like dark. Mm-hmm. But there was like something sweet about him to where you were just like, I get it. I can see it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick one of them out of the book, he would be the one I would have picked.
Yeah.
Because Rowan was just too like white light for me. Way too much of like that golden boy.
I don't know. I'd still probably pick Dorian.
I fucking hated Dorian. Still hate Dorian. Not on my type at all.
I feel like Dorian was Aylin's soulmate. In all reality, like actually Aylin's soulmate, and that they connected in a lot of ways. And the fact that like when he told Kaol like you can't pick and choose what pieces of her to love, absolutely love Dorian for that. But then when Dorian got his magic,
you can't pick and choose. You get it all or you get nothing.
Exactly.
I agree.
When Dorian gets his magic though, and he meets Manon, Dorian becomes a different kind of Dorian.
Okay, but I love Manon. Like I want to
too.
do Manon. Okay, like even I'm like, are you sure I'm straight?
I have 2 full Manon tattoos. Like I love Manon.
Yes.
So much. If she was she wouldn't. We know if she did the yielding, she'd be light. So we can't even call her a shadow daddy either.
She could be my shadow daddy.
She could be your star shadow daddy.
I would take it. Yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one because I don't know. I don't know. She did a great job of like helping him like figure it out though. Like I guess everybody needs that person that like brings them back to reality, right?
Yeah.
All right. So on to our game of Shadow Daddies.
Yeah. Okay, so
because I don't have any more Shadow
No,
Daddies. I got through a bunch of books, but she was like, none of those are considered Shadow Daddies, and I was sad. I have lots of book boyfriends though.
I have tons. We'll just have to do like a full book boyfriends episode because I have
boyfriends
so
are ridiculous.
many I can talk about. My poor husband. But okay, I will have to say, I think my relationship has gotten better since I started reading these books. And I think a lot of women say that. And I think my husband would agree with that. And it's like, I think it's not necessarily, it's not just because it's like, oh, I want to have sex with you now. It's because like, I feel like it kind of gives
teaches you, right? Like you see like yourself in some of these people and then you have to realize like, oh, I do that. That's annoying.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person. That's really fucking annoying.
You kind of recognize like more ways in relationships that you can show up for people. And
yeah.
stuff
Okay. So she's got me reading problematic. What is it?
Oh, you started problematic
I did.
romance? Oh my God.
Summer romance. And that girl, she's throwing a tantrum right now. And the whole time she's talking, I was driving into Katie's house and I was like, oh my God, stop. Like, I'm not that annoying. Like, but that's the problem. Like, you see yourself, and then you start realizing, like, oh, maybe I am really that annoying. And God, that's really annoying.
Yeah.
Like, the hanging up the phone and being like, he'll call me back. No, Brad, he's not gonna call you back. Like, nobody wants to talk to your annoying ass. Like, no, I get it. Like, oh, but in the moment, you're like, I don't know, your emotions get the better of you.
Yeah.
So I totally get it.
100%. So yeah, I feel like it's taught me a lot in terms, and that's why I love reading romances. I feel like, I mean, you can learn about relationships in any genre, but I feel like for me,
hopefully not murder mysteries. Don't kill him.
Don't kill
I
him,
love
please.
murder mysteries. I'm gonna try to break Katie into reading some of them.
I will read them for
But
sure.
We haven't gotten there yet.
I just keep offering because I read so quickly that I keep being like, "Hey, do you want to read this book?"
It's because she's ahead of me in the start of this, and then we decided to start this. By the way, we decided to start the podcast because Katie's writing a book. So, you know, indie authors, we support you. And so that's how we started the idea. And then how that wound up into this is started to play catch up because we don't read the same books in order to talk about books. And then Katie doesn't stop freaking reading. So I'm in this game of like, I can't catch up because she hasn't slowed down. I got my speed read on like 30 and I'm still can't catch up.
Well, the good thing was that for romantasy, like I really don't read romantasy very quickly. It takes me a while to get through romantasy. I mean, it depends. So like Crescent City took me an entire month to read 3 books, but they're also like 1,000-page books each. And they're long, and like Crescent City 1 takes a bit to get into. But like if I'm reading a contemporary cowboy romance, I can read it in 2 days flat, like easy, like Dirty Mouth Cowboy, done. Easy.
I mean, I get it. I completely get it.
But so, yeah, so I've read a few more romantasy books. So what I did was I went through some books that a lot of them are romantasy, but other books just like that have kind of a name that might sound like a shadow daddy name. And I'm going to list it, and then you tell me if you think that it's a shadow daddy.
See, but the definition of shadow daddy, he has to wield shadows.
I think we're going to stick with the dark power thing.
Okay.
And one of them, I guess,
that
we could
could
kind
make
of
a difference on
discuss,
how we play the game.
Yeah. Okay. The first is Zade Meadows.
Ooh, that's a cool name. Just so you know, Zade is a cool name. We should be naming our children this.
I'm a little worried for when my daughter, who's 2, is going to go to school, and how many Feyres are going to be there, how many Nestas and Aelins.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because we've already seen Khaleesi's and stuff come out of Game of Thrones.
I forgot about that. Yes,
Yeah,
but I like that name. I think I even told you I like that name.
It's a cute name.
It's cute.
I would have, if I had a second kid, I would have. If I had a daughter, it would have been named Violet, and that wasn't after Fourth Wing, but there probably would have been multiple Violets in her class.
I'm gonna go with no.
Zade Meadows is not a shadow daddy, correct? So he is actually
It's the Meadows part that was throwing me off because I was like, it sounds way too like maybe he wields water. Like I was like,
he actually doesn't wield anything. So he is he is a human.
He's a human.
And he is in the dark romance Haunting Adeline.
Oh, see, this is what happens when you got to start reading books faster.
Yeah, I think you'll actually really like Zade. Zade is not my favorite. He gives me the ick a bit, but we'll talk about Haunting Adeline after you read that. Everin Achilles.
I like that name. The only thing I can think of is Achilles' heel, though, so I'm gonna go with yes.
Correct. So Everin is Shadow Daddy Everin, as Holly Renee likes to call it. This is another Holly Renee series that actually just got traditionally published. So the first book is A Kingdom of Stars and Shadows, and the second book will be coming out soonish. I think it's in the next couple months. So I've been purchasing the online or the traditionally published versions that are coming out. So yeah,
cool.
Everin is the sibling to Dacker, but not even really because they're two separate series. I just like he's the Shadow Daddy sibling to Dacker. Okay, Grimshaw Malvere.
What a name. Okay, let's see.
Always goes by Grim traditionally.
Goes by Grim. I'm going to go with no just because it's too on the nose.
He is a Shadow Daddy.
He is a Shadow Daddy. That's way too on the nose, though. Grim? Like he goes by Grim.
He goes by Grim.
Just sounds like somebody that's like the Grim Reapers running around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it was just too on the nose. Lazy writing. I have a thing about lazy writing. We got to come up with better names.
I already have a comment on my book about one of my points.
Yes,
that was a lazy
writing. Come up with better names.
So Grimshaw is one of the love interests from the Lightlark saga, written by Alex Astor. And I am not Team Grimm, so I am fine with hating on Grimm.
That's a horrible name.
The next one is Oro Ray.
Oro?
Oro Ray.
I think of Rockenbacher. Rockenbacher?
Rockenbacher.
Isn't that what it is? Or in Rockenbacher?
I don't know.
The popcorn guy?
That's Phil Redenbacher.
That's what I was thinking of. Rockenbacher.
Rockenbacher.
I don't know. That's Rockenbacher.
Rockenbacher.
Okay, so I'm going to go with yes. It's a weird name.
No, so actually Oro is the
It's
other.
a horrible name.
Oro is the other in the love
I want to know the definition of this name. I want to know if it's like Greek or like this is super freaking made up, because if it was lazy writing.
So technically, I don't know what the origin was, but technically in the Lightlark saga, he has all of the powers of Lightlark. I am Team Oro. Fully.
I know, but like I want to know the origin of this name.
I would have to ask Alex Astor, and unfortunately I'm not good friends with her. But
I want to know like where we came up with this.
And so here's my thing. This is totally not a part of the game. This is just me ranting about the Lightlark series. I read Lightlark, really enjoyed it.
Okay.
Read Nightbane, loved Nightbane.
Okay.
I fell in love with Oro and Lightlark, and I decided I was fully Team Oro when I read Nightbane.
Okay.
Sky Shade started, but she's like stuck with Grimm and I can't read it. I've been trying to read it for like 3 months now, and I'm like, I hate Grimm. I don't want to read about Grimm. But the Grimm and Oro POV of the first book is coming out at the end of September. So I'm 100% going to read that book. So I just need to finish Sky Shade before
She
that.
needs to just put it on her desk and just start going.
And maybe it'll make me Team Grimm. I don't know, but I'm fully just like, I want a full Oro book. Anyway.
I just can't even.
Okay, next one is Luther Corbois.
That's a cool name. Okay, see, that's not too bad. All right, let's see. Corbois. I'm going to go with no.
He is a Shadow Daddy. So technically, he's from Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole, which I have down there. You can't really see. I guess you can kind of see it on the podcast screen. There's Spark of the Everflame, Glow of the Everflame, Heat of the Everflame, and we are still waiting patiently on Burn Penn Cole. I'm so excited for it. I blew through these books, but Luther...
She blew through these 1,000-page books, and I'm supposed to be... Jeez Louise. I'm never catching up, guys. We're never going to get on the same page. Star's never going to get to the point where the books are going to be equal, ever.
I don't know. My daughter's not napping anymore, so I'm probably going to start slowing down on my reading here. But Luther wields both light and shadow, blessed by Luminous to wield both.
Light and shadow. How does that work? If you think about it, like, do you get to like wield your light to make the shadow to wield the shadow? Like, how does that work? Like, think about it.
Like blasts of energy is kind of how I think of light. You could also blind people. Just like show up and just blind someone.
Be like,
I'm just like saying, fucking Bryce and Crescent Sabers, and my star started glowing out of my chest.
That one irritates me. We're just going to be clear. The star glowing out of her chest irritates me. Because every time a Cormac came around, and it would be like, the star's glowing. Because they were like together, not together. They were like
connected
or whatever. Which is fine. Which is I thought was kind of cute. But like, anytime she got like nervous or anything, her star would start to glow. And it's like, okay, but like, I'm sorry that your star's glowing. But like, I don't know. I hated the star, by the way. I think that was shitty writing, okay? Lazy. This is going to be Star's going to talk so much shit about lazy writing.
We'll have an entire podcast is just Star talking about the lazy writing in books.
Just the damn... You couldn't come up with a better symbol than a star. I guess it would have been better. I guess it would have been...
What's the 8-pointed star?
I guess a heart would have been worse. Like, she would have been like, my heart was glowing for you.
Yeah, but it's like an anatomical heart.
Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, you just have like the arteries.
Right? I guess I just didn't think about it. I don't know. It just irritated me. Like, I just hated the fact that she had something on the outside of her body that, like, lit up anything. It's like lighting up the sky. Because there's like a reference to like the star is the sun, and like this, I don't know. There's like a reference when Hunt makes, and I just was like, ugh.
Honestly,
Lazy
90% of the time Hunt said something, I was just like, you're so annoying.
It wasn't that bad. Damn.
Okay, there were times where I was just like, yes, Hunt, get it, but like this is so like. This is why this is called the Aimless Attention Podcast, because Star and I cannot stay on topic to save our fucking lives. At least we're still talking about books.
I mean, we've been doing really good. But that's only because it's the first podcast, all right? Let's just wait until... There's a couple times where I've been like, I have a story for that. I'm trying to stay on topic.
I can't stand Hunt. He's fine. But I also am a little worried because like it feels a bit like what she did with ACOTAR, where there's like a completed trilogy. with Crescent City. Like, it kind of wraps up with a bow after Crescent City, but we know there's going to be more books.
Yeah, but didn't she come out with like 4 of them or something? Wasn't there?
So there's 5 Akatars out right now. There's going to be a 6th. But so, like, the first 3 are a completed trilogy. Then there's a novella, and then there's Nesta's story. And then the rest of the books are each.
See, that's one of those things when we get into the whole Akatar thing, then I'll probably be aimless attention and be like, oh my God, I have a story for that. And I was totally been there. And Nesta, I feel you.
I feel you, Nesta, honestly. Okay, back to the game. So yes, Luther Corbois is a shadow daddy. And he wields both light and shadow, which he lives in a kingdom where, like, the people who, they're descended from gods. And so they're called the Descended, and he is descended from a god, and he is able to wield both of the gods' powers. But most of them are able to wield only like one.
Little G.
Little G.
Little G.
They're called the Descended.
The Descended.
Okay, Kai Azar.
I'm gonna go with yes.
He's not. So
I'm just not gonna win this game.
Kai is like tall and dark and broody.
That just sounds amazing.
I also wanted
especially
to be
with the name Kai, like that just sounds amazing. But here's my
his full
problem.
name's Malachi.
Talk about getting off topic. It makes me think of Ninjago. The little Nintendo, like, oh my God, not Nintendo, like the little Lego, the Nintendo. Oh my Lord, my
Lego
son would
Ninjago.
beat me right now. He'd be like, you can't even get it right, and you watched every episode. Yeah.
No, so Kai Azar, and I really tried to, in this, because we're talking about shadow daddies, I really wanted to make sure that all of them were adult age when we were talking about them, because there are some characters in YA that are old, that are, 17, and I was like, I don't really want to talk about a 16, 17-year-old being a shadow daddy. So that's why
they are, even though they're considered a shadow daddy.
I guess they would be
a
like
shadow toddler.
A shadow toddler. A shadow like, oh, I don't want to read about this for you.
That's how I felt about Zayden.
He was 23.
I didn't. Just picturing my 20-year-old running around. Look at Auntie, I can wield shadows.
Oh my God.
I don't know why it bothers. Wait until your daughter's grown and brings home a boy, and you're gonna be like, I'm in that awkward age where he's a cute and he's old enough to be like, but I don't know how to feel about this. Just wait. One day it's gonna come around. It swings back around. Being in your 40s is the weirdest thing ever. Somebody brought it up the other day. You're too old to look at 20-year-olds, but you feel too young to look at 60-year-olds.
That's fair.
It's a weird, like, you're just like, what the shit happened? But at the same time, both are still within legal age limit that you're like, do I become one of those men that are like, I'm going to date me a 20-year-old?
Like
or do you become one of those women where you're like, I'm going to date me a grandpa?
I don't know if my dad's going to let me telling this story, but when I think my dad was eating lunch or dinner with my grandparents when they first moved into the retirement home, and my grandpa already has a dementia diagnosis, but like one of the servers there was one of my sister's like people she went to school with, and he was like, check out that looker or something like that to my dad, and my dad's like, no. Like, don't talk like this, please.
Yes.
It's just like,
it's hard because you get to this weird awkward age where you don't know what to look at, and then 20-year-olds hit on you and you don't know what to do. You're like, well, technically you're legal, but at the same time, like, for men it would be like, thank you for hitting on me. For women it's like, what the hell's happening? I don't want to be your sugar mama, your shadow mama.
I feel like
I'm sure I can wield shadows with a name star.
Well, and if you think about age gap romances, I don't know how many of them go the other way. Like, I guess I don't read cougar romance because that's not really like my vibe.
Okay, so I have, and they're creepy. They're creepy.
I can't.
They're creepy. There's like something about, like, I don't know.
I'm totally fine with like the 20-something-year-old and like the early 40s or late 30s. Like, that's kind of like the sweet spot, I think, for age gap romance. When you start getting into like they're a lot older.
See, Katie and I, this is where we go wrong. I love books where like she's like 20 and she's dating the boy, and then the boy breaks up with her or something, or she meets the daddy, and then the daddy will do because the daddy will do, okay? Why are you messing with that 20-year-old? You need to be messing with that papa because he's going to show you a whole new world. You're going to find worlds you didn't know you existed. Katie just doesn't know. She married somebody her age, so she doesn't know.
Technically, I am 6 months older than my husband.
No. She doesn't know.
We are the same age, though.
They did not, he's not going to. When he's older, he'll show her a whole new world.
My husband's going to love listening to this episode.
Love it.
Con Vager.
The name already is disturbing. I'm going to go with yes.
Yeah, he is.
That's a disturbing name. He's a con man, isn't he? He's like, I conned her out of all of her money.
He's from When the Moon Hatched. which is a fantastic lyrical
Why
book.
does all these having a name like mine just makes you just want to curl up into a ball and cry? Because you seem like you should be in these books, but then you're like, when the moon hatched, do I belong in that book? I probably do.
That book is fantastic. It's about it's a really interesting magical world where like they have dragons, and when the dragons die, they form moons in the sky.
That's kind of cool as shit, though.
And
I'm
they
not
like
gonna lie.
yeah, and then they like fall out of the sky. That's like the next book is called The Ballad of Falling Dragons. It comes out next year. So we have time for you to read that.
I'm over here like, what the fuck? Like the moons fall out of the sky? Like, god damn it.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And it's very like lyrically written, so it's very funny. And I've never seen a more foul-mouthed FMC than in
I'm
that.
totally down.
I love her
I love
so
foul
much.
mouth.
She ends up in like a trial, and she's like, they're like, well, how do you plead? And she's like, I think you have a micro cock or something like that. Like that's just like
that's
how
my
they
kind of
start
girl.
talking.
Like some of the stuff that they say even makes me blush. Like grab my cock, and I'm like, okay. Like I wasn't expecting that today, but we'll get there.
So okay, we have 3 more because we're doing a really great job.
We're doing a great job. We're keeping it on topic.
Okay, Low Moreland.
If he's not a shadow daddy, he needs to be. Look at that name.
Low Moreland.
He's got low morals is what that is. See, I'm telling you, lazy writing. Okay, I'm gonna go with yes.
He's not. Although Kenny I went through this game with my husband last night, and he wanted to argue that this was a shadow daddy because he's a werewolf. So he's like, that's a dark creature. That's
right.
100%.
I'm already on board with your husband. Okay.
So he's from Bride by Ali Hazelwood.
Okay, I haven't gotten there yet. We're getting there. Okay, yeah. I'm finishing up a couple of her books right now. Dude, I'm down.
I've got some comments about Bride.
Does he? Here's my problem though. Like, I want him to like be in werewolf form and like crawl over me and like take me like doggy style as you would put it.
I will spoil you that does not happen. However, and Low is not my favorite, but.
It's a horrible name. It was literally Low Morals. Did you hear that?
But he's like the most straight-laced like fucking guy ever, and
he totally would be my fucking guy. I love those little touches of tism.
Well, so Bride's an interesting book. So the main character is a vampire, and she gets into a forced marriage with this werewolf because the werewolves and the vampires are always in a
Twilighty. War. I haven't read it yet.
Well, they're always in a war, and they have this like thing where they like send someone to go live in the other territory. So like they send a werewolf to the vampires and the vampire to the werewolf, and they live there in order to prevent them from fighting each other, or they kill the one that's living in there.
Okay.
So she was already that person, and then all of a sudden her dad's like, hey, by the way, you got to marry this werewolf now who's like the alpha of their pack, and she's like, fuck that.
I mean,
and so that it's kind of a
gotta do what you gotta do, right?
For arranged marriage type situation with a vampire werewolf.
Sometimes arranged marriages work out though. Like, sometimes you don't know you love somebody until somebody forces you to love them.
That's true. I actually know a couple people who were in arranged marriages, surprisingly.
It's an interesting, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. But people said that it works out great because
you learn to love each other. You don't have that chemistry right off the bat. Doesn't like that sexual chemistry is not there. It's it's like a learned, and then you. I don't know. I can't personally because I need to.
And what I've heard from a lot of people,
granted,
and it's not like everybody that's in an arranged marriage because I have no idea because I'm not in an arranged marriage and I don't know. I don't have any experience with it. But like I have heard from people who like have been and put in those kinds of situations that it's actually a very like involved process where like the whole families of taking part of it, like all of the like even like their spouse's family, and it's like a whole like vetting process and like everyone's really involved in it, and you still can say no about it. Like it's not.
Yeah, but you're like talking like super involved, like in the sense that like they're taking your personality and everything into account. Like you're not just getting like a rando off the street.
Yeah,
like, they're picking like, does this person fit their personality? Like, would they be okay together? Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in the U.S. we have like a really negative view of it because it's just not a part of our culture. Whereas like in a lot of countries that is. It's like how they kind of go about navigating those types of things.
Yeah, but I have to be honest with you. I think we would do better marriage wise.
Probably.
Like, people
if it was not up to
wouldn't
us
get
to
married
pick based off of emotions.
Yeah, like people wouldn't get married off of emotion so quickly. Like,
yeah.
I
think
what Bryce and Hunt were like 3 weeks in. It was longer than that, you guys. But it still fucking bothered me.
Bryce in Crescent City 1 though did when she died, she said like, I love you, Hunt, and then she like started to make the drop or whatever, and then he was like, you fucking bitch, you can't tell me that, and then die. So like I did like that. But it was I felt like for Crescent City that, and this is again a whole side tangent, but like I felt Crescent City saying that they loved each other in that moment. Like they kind of like started having sex, and then like she found that out about him, and then she just like
no more sex for you, and I'm gonna be celibate.
And then oh my god, the whole like we're not gonna sleep together for 3 months, and I was just like, this is dumb because all you guys spend your time doing is going, oh man, I wish I could fuck him, and I'm like, okay. Do it then. Like I'm just tired of reading about it. I don't care if you want to make that opinion.
I felt the same way.
Or make that decision about your relationship. That's great.
I kind of understood where she was coming from.
Yeah.
Again, side tangent. I understood because there was like a part of her that felt like she needed to know him on a deeper level than just the chemistry of like the sexual
and like the high stakes that they'd been put into. Like I understand what the point was, but as a reader, because it was so many pages of them complaining about how they can't sleep together, I was just like, okay,
because they could sleep together because they were grown ass adults.
I was just kind of like,
but they had to wait till like what, Solace or something. What was it?
It was the solstice or whatever.
Solstice. I can't remember shit in my brain.
I feel like everything's on the solstice, or there's Yulmus in Throne of Glass.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, I've got 2 more. Lorien. There's no last name. It's just Lorien.
I'm going to go with yes.
So this one's debatable. He's kind of like Hunt. He is a lightning wielder. He's a fae. He's overbearing. He's tall, dark, and handsome. However, and he is known. His other name is the Bloodthirsty Prince.
Oh hell yeah, that bloodthirsty prince. He's gotta be right. That's Shadow Daddy material right there.
I don't know.
That's like Shadow Daddy.
He's another one that I kind of like look at, and I'm like, this is called the Kingdom of Lies series by Stasia Stark, and this book,
Kingdom of Lies.
See,
like already starting the that's a freaking amazing name. That one's good. Okay,
that book series was really interesting. It was just, I hate when books get too many perspectives after a while when they're first person. Like third person, I feel like you can do a little bit more omniscient. Like I think Throne of Glass is a fantastic job with it, having a ton of them, and like to a lesser extent, Crescent City does a pretty good job with it too. But like when you start out with 2 POVs in book 1, and then you add like 1 more for the next one because you just need like a little bit more, and then all of a sudden there's like 7 perspectives and they're all first person. I'm like, I can't even remember who the
freaking person is.
Yeah,
I felt that way in Crescent City on a couple people that they started adding in, like when they meet the what is it, the I keep wanting to say sniper, but I don't think that was what she was.
Sniper.
The snake lady. Why am I blanking her name completely?
The Serpent Queen?
Yeah. When they got to her, dude, I felt like everybody that was in her little like
I couldn't tell any of them.
I started like losing it. I was like, who is she? Like, hold on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I figured it out as it went on, but yeah, no. 100% agree with you.
Yeah.
There's like a part of you that's like, what the hell is happening and who's talking and why are they talking? Like, do we really need your freaking point of view?
Okay, we have 1 more, and if you get this one wrong,
then I'm fired?
Yeah, you're fired.
Take it off the podcast.
Okay, Bastian Matthias.
I don't know. With a name like Bastian, I want would be a shadow daddy. I'm gonna go with no.
No, and he's my character in the book you're reading.
I was like, I knew the name.
Yeah. So
see, she was worried for a second there.
I was like, did you?
I did read it.
Well, you've read 7 chapters, and I'm pretty sure I say his full name.
You do.
Okay.
It had to take me a second, though. There's so many freaking character names. I was like, and then I didn't recognize it at first. And then once you said it, I was like, I know exactly who that is. But in the moment, no.
No. Okay.
Do you know how good my memory is?
I know.
I'm like a goldfish. You can tell me what your name is, and 20 seconds later, I'm going to stare at you and be like, who?
So Bastian is not a shadow daddy.
No.
I love him, but he's not. So I am working on my debut romantasy called An Unwoven Light. I am just like every other writer in the world, and I don't know how to describe what my book is about. But I thought because we were talking about some of our favorite male leads, I would just kind of talk about Bash a little bit. So in the book, there are people who are able to wield some of the god's powers if they have a relic of that god's power. And so Bash has a relic of Balus, who is the god of fire and strength. And so while Bash is not a shadow daddy, he does wield fire and strength.
I do remember that, but no, I didn't remember him actually being a shadow daddy.
Yeah.
So see, look.
And he goes by Bash more than anything. Like he's named Bastion at the beginning, and like some of the characters throughout will call him Bastion, but for the most part, he goes by Bash. Like that's his preferred name. So
yes, I like that name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. So yeah, that is kind of my writing corner. I don't really have much to say about it. I'm currently working in draft 2 edits.
We're working on getting her to give a synopsis.
You know what? How about after I finish draft 2, I will really, really try to write a synopsis for this book, and I'm going to treat myself to character art so we can have Bash and Elodie and have a picture of them because I just love them. Well, that was episode 1 of our podcast. We did it. We managed to ramble quite a bit, but not as much as I expected us to do.
No, I actually tried really hard to stay on topic. Give us like a few episodes in, and I'll probably be all over the place, telling all kinds of crazy stories.
It'll be great. Well, we hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to put up a slide that will show where you can follow us on social media. Please, subscribe to us on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We love your support, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Hope you enjoyed the Aimless Attention podcast.